All right, so this is just the screen that we use here. So we're live,
Okay.
and then we're going to go to the announcer cam. Hey guys, it's me, David. This is Sean and Allison, and we're going to be commentating, all three of us, on some Modern matches today. Let me aim this down a little so y'all can see us. But yeah, it's going to be pretty dope. We're trying to promote Modern on Saturdays, so that's basically what this is for. We've got a really good match for you guys already, so we're going to switch to the live screen. We've got Brett Brewer on the left side playing Burn, and we've got Michael Krumholtz playing a Janky Grixis homebrew that he says is a surprise. So we don't really know much about it, but we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right. So I think this matchup,
Ready.
This matchup will be determined by whether or not Michael can stabilize. I think playing against Burn, it's always a little stressful. Your life is pretty much ticking down every turn. It seems like his version of Grixis is kind of like Blue Jund. I think we saw a little sneak preview, and it seems like it heavily revolves around Kess, Dissonant Mage. So let's see if his graveyard shenanigans and the value that he'll be generating off this Kess gets him there. All right. Players are shuffling up, presenting a cut, their roll off. Let's see the ever important dice roll in Modern.
All right, here we go. Man, we can almost just barely
high.
see those dice, right?
Yeah, just barely. Tiny little pips.
Man, this
They're
is
playing
exciting.
Yahtzee. Looks like
Essentially, our goal behind streaming this is we want to be the #1 place in Houston for Modern.
Brett is on the play.
Yeah.
Cool. Looks like a spell heavy hand, so this will be an interesting one. It'll give Michael a chance to stabilize. Oh, he ships it back. Guess it wasn't good enough.
And normally our streams are in the evenings, so there's not as much glare, but hopefully we'll be able to see the cards just fine.
Looks like Michael's pretty happy with his hands.
Yeah.
It's probably loaded with a bunch of removal. Let's see what Brett wants to see in his opening.
You want another slice of pizza?
I'm good, I had to. Oh, there's some creatures. That's always a good sign. Lands and creatures.
I think he's ready to go.
I see a Swifty. Turn 1 Swifty seems pretty good.
Hey, what's up, Mamon? How you doing, bro?
Alright, he starts out with a basic mountain. Turn 1 Swifty.
Oh.
Haste.
That's how we
have
do
first
it.
Blood.
First blood.
Michael goes to 19. Alright, let's see what Michael's response is. Fetches to 18. We know he's not on some Grixis Dead Shadow shenanigans, so we probably won't be shocking here. Probably a basic of some sort, so we have an island.
Why not go for Shockland? You think it's too dangerous against the burn deck?
Definitely, yeah. The loss of life is just way too... It's almost like a full turn, losing an entire turn. He also probably wants to dig to find his removal and his interaction. Turn 1 Serum Vision is pretty good at that.
That's Serum Visions, right?
Yeah, he'll be able to set up the next 2 draws if he wants.
We're right here with you guys. The glare is kind of affecting us too. We apologize.
Top bottom, so probably medium. We'll see what he follows up with. Sunday Canyon. That'll be good, much better later on.
I really like that playmat. I like Brett's playmat. It's pretty legit.
Classic Vendilion Click. It's a little ironic that the burn player's using a
Yeah.
blue legendary creature. Classic Lava Spike.
What burn spell is that? Lava Spike?
Brings him down to 15. Ooh, double burn spell. Puts him down to 12. Michael's already pretty low.
Still the tripod in the car. Blocks that light out.
Passes the turn. Oh, we have an attack for Swift Sphere with 2 Prowess triggers. Puts him all the way down to 9.
Really nice.
Man, he's already at 9, turn 2. Follows up with the Steam Vents, goes to 7. It's getting pretty risky.
Yeah, really risky.
Is it Charm? Looks like
when you're trying out a new deck and you want to interact with things, playing Burn your first match is kind of not as fun, right?
It's always a litmus test, though. If your deck can beat Burn, it's probably pretty decent.
Okay. Is that did he lose it? And
Yeah,
play
it looks like Michael shocked the first Swifty,
Okay.
and he followed up with a second Swift Spear and a Boros Charm for 4 damage and 2 prowess
So
triggers.
he should be a what, 1 maybe?
He should be at 1 life. And it looks like Michael just can't keep up.
All right, game 2. Here comes the sideboard.
And with that, Brett takes game 1. Let's get these life totals reset.
Really nice.
So
yeah,
the-
we're a little ghetto at Senpai's. We have to, oh, let's fix that real quick. It reset.
Is that right? You won?
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Okay.
Ha! I'm losing it.
So we'll see what comes out of the sideboard. I can only imagine that Michael will take out some of his more expensive cards, put in some life gain, put in some interaction, and I think Brett's going to try to do his best to anticipate that. Maybe cut off some of the life gain with some can't gain life cards.
That makes sense.
You can see some skull cracks in his hands. Those are always popular.
I really am pulling for Michael here because he's facing he's facing Burn in a situation with a brand new deck. He says he wasn't even sure whether to call this deck control or mid-range or tempo or what. So he's about to figure out what kind of deck he's running in a minute, and the sideboard will tell a lot. We don't have any access to their deck lists or their sideboards, but maybe he'll draw into some spice. We'll see. Was that an Eidolon? I think I saw an Eidolon.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking out some cards, taking out some creatures. Looks like he's bringing in a whole bunch of removal to anticipate all the hate.
You go ahead. I forgot. Yep, yeah. So what are you running these days, man?
What am I running?
Did you mention you were playing Tron at that last event?
No, I was on Blue White Stoneforge at this past Star City in Dallas. After the ban, just everyone was trying out Stoneforge Mystic.
So you tried it out.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. A lot of people think it's pretty medium. A lot of people are comparing it to a Tarmogoyf. Like most of the time, you'll cast it on turn 2. It's a 1/2 that will just die to the first piece of removal. Because no one wants to see a
But
turn
it
3
tutors out equipments, basically.
It's true,
right?
yeah.
So what are people tutoring for right now?
Typically, the packages are Batterskull. You have to have a Batterskull. And
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Battleskull.
You,
I was thinking of the swords, but Battleskull is so good.
yeah, the second one everyone runs is Sword of Feast and Famine, and the optional slot is the third sword. It's either a Fire and Ice or a Light and Shadow. Some people are playing the new Black and Red one, Sinew
So
and
if people
Steel.
just sideboards a bunch of swords, is that part
Usually
of the
one or
game
two
plan?
swords, yeah.
Just to even out the color
Yeah,
wheel?
if you just happen to have either black white or black red swords, if you're playing against those colors, you typically would just want to side those in.
Makes sense. Cool.
But I faced a lot of Grixis Werza. I think I might change that deck. That deck seems pretty sweet. All the artifacts.
Yeah, that deck sounds like a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than I think. I think we've been playing with the graveyard too long. I kind of agree with these bans. So it looks like Brett's mulling to 6. Oh no, yeah. Brett's mulling to 6.
Yep.
Michael kept the 7 card hand.
Let's see if we can see a little bit more of Michael's deck. We only had 3 turns last game.
He is really good at creating these lists, these
True.
little anti-meta lists, and I know very few people that sideboard better than Michael, so
Yeah,
we'll see what he
absolutely.
does.
He's a great player, for sure. Very tight.
Ooh, I saw a path.
Yeah,
I
it
saw a
looks like-
path in Brett's hand.
There's a path and there's a goblin guide, so what more could you want?
Yeah, swing for the fences and remove anything in the way. Thank you.
Alright, so Michael starts off with a Shockland, putting in the 18, starting off with a Serum Vision so he can set up this game.
He's feeling pretty confident in his hand.
Looks like
Especially
it.
if he's
Let's
gonna
see.
play a shock.
Let's see if he goes top.
You want Burn to win, huh, Mamon? That's funny.
Ooh, top. Looks like his hand is pretty good.
Looks like this game's going his way. We'll see what happens next.
Looks like Brett starts off with a fetch land, Wooded Foothills, sacrificing it.
Very nice. By the way, our boy Michael Rubenstein is head judge, relaying all kinds of pertinent information. He's really great. Yeah, you're good. Thanks, Eric.
I imagine we'll be seeing Turn 1 Goblin Guide here. Classic. Swing, trigger.
Land.
It's a land.
Hey!
It's like Michael almost knew.
Brilliant. You know, I've had plenty of Goblin Guides swung at me, and I've played plenty of Serum Visions. And I'm a little embarrassed to say I've never put a land on the top. It's brilliant.
Michael fetches, he goes to 15. Getting a basic, classic. Against burn, you typically want to search up as many of your basics as early as possible.
Just in case the moon comes out.
True. Looks like Collective
Blood
Brutality.
Ooh, Cryptic Command.
Yeah, we're discarding. He's 2 modes. Looks like he's going to kill the Goblin Guide, and he's probably going to gain some life. Looks like that's what's going to happen. So, Brett moves down to 17. 17 all.
Man, you really love this burn, don't you, Maman? He says, it dominate all competitive format.
Ooh. Brett's hand is 2 1-drops, a Swifty, a Goblin Guide, and a Path to Exile.
You know, you start taking cards out of a burn player's hand, and they're in a lot of trouble. It usually doesn't go well after that.
That's very true. Starts off with a Goblin Guide, takes 1 damage from the land. Swift Spear attack, trigger,
Brilliant.
another land. Michael takes 3, going down to 14.
It's really nice.
Another fetch land.
Should it be
I think the Sun makes Canyon damage, didn't get to go through. Attacks again. Yes, from a 16-14, great. He takes 3 off the creatures. Oh, not yet. We haven't gone to damage yet. Just wanted to see the trigger off the Goblin Guide. Ends up taking 1 to 13.
nice?
Seems like this game is going a lot better for Michael.
Yeah.
He's actually able to play some magic cards, interact.
He's down to 12. Okay. You know, keeping track of life totals in Modern is a lot of work. It's a full-time job. I'm not going to lie. Experimental Frenzy. All right, Maman, you're getting a little out there, buddy.
You never know. You see
Experimental
anything in
Frenzy.
Modern.
Is Experimental Frenzy making a showing in Modern?
I think it showed up a couple times in some of the Hardened Scales, some of the Affinity decks for a little bit.
That's right. Interesting.
Ooh.
By the way, if you guys ever want to get on a feature match, we're going to be featuring Table 1 every tournament, every Saturday at 4. We're going to be hosting featured Modern tournaments. Should be fun. Senpai's Cards and Anime.
Best card shop in Houston.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Looks like Brett swung in for 1. No prowess triggers at the end step. It looks like Michael is just resolving a fetch land down to 10.
You know, these two were playing a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And Brett was doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think he won a lot of practice games.
I think Michael sandbagged him a little bit.
Oh, maybe. He's
That's
definitely
pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to show you what I got on stream. He's always playing the long game.
It's true. Michael is pretty good like that.
He had that deck with Ewit. Were you around when he played that Ewit deck?
Oh yeah, the E-Witness control deck where he just like kept recurring Cryptic Command over and over and over.
So legit.
He loved the value. I mean, this deck looks like it's almost just Junt but with blue.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the namesake card? Oh, it's Kess, Dissident Mage.
Uh-oh.
All right. This is probably where he starts pulling ahead in value.
This is where Brett's going to have to start throwing his burn at creatures.
It's very true. Ooh, Path
Oh,
of
no, that's
Exile.
right. He had a path. Oh,
right.
it gets Cryptic Command.
Countered by a Dispel.
Was it Dispel or
Yeah,
Cryptic?
he's ready for it.
Oh, wow. Well, that's right. He discarded the Cryptic Command.
He did. Those Sunbait Canyons probably will come in handy soon. Brett might want to start cracking those. Michael reorganizing his lands ominously. I imagine we might see a Collective Brutality from the graveyard. Maybe a Terminate.
He's pretty creative. Passing
is.
Flames. No, that would be terrible.
Probably wouldn't fit his deck.
For a
but-
Serum Visions. The signed land is
Looks like he's having a hard time deciding what he wants to do.
he passed the turn.
Passed it. That was surprising. Brett cracks one of the Sunbait Canyons to try and draw out of this mana flood.
I think he wants to protect the cast.
Yeah, I think he does.
You know, I mean, I don't remember what the toughness is on Kess, but
It's a 3/4.
it's
kind
not
of-
totally unreasonable for a burn player to just prowess up.
It's true.
High
It's
enough.
true. 4 toughness, but let's see.
But we only have
Ooh,
3 lands on board.
Exquisite Firecraft. That'll be just enough to kill the Kess. I believe it can't be countered as well
Yeah.
because he probably has Spellcraft. Or Spell Mastery, sorry.
That was most likely a sideboard. He's going to bounce the cast to his hand with a Cryptic. Yep.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then probably draw a card. What do you think?
It's up in the air. Oh, it looks like he's tapping on the team. He's just prioritizing his life total.
Return to hand, team tapped.
Yeah, it's like a do-it-yourself counter it. Remove the target.
What's Kess's effect again?
Every turn, on Michael's turn, he can cast a spell from his graveyard with
That's
flashback.
right. That's right. It's not an ETB trigger, so
It is not, no.
he's not going to get any janky enter the battlefield effect again. But
This is true.
he'll
But
still be able to cast something from the graveyard potentially.
it's very true.
So he's going to have to kind of tap out again, right, to get this Kess on the field.
He would definitely have to do that to get the Kess on the field. I don't know if he wants to, though.
You guys are going to be
Seems a little
next. Are you
hesitant.
ready? Stoked. I'm out.
Top, bottom.
You know what's really good? The Doritos Tapatios are really good, dude. Yeah, just grab them for me, would you? I'm a little trapped. And a starter tap.
Taps 4 mana for Kess, Dissonant Mage, leaving 2 mana open. Looks like he decides to cast Collective Brutality.
Yeah.
Let's see how many modes he goes for.
Thank you, brother.
So all 3 modes again. Means
Thank you.
drains
Oh,
him.
careful. Sorry about that. Oh, good job keeping track of the lab total. That's you're getting into that dangerous range. 7 is a very dangerous range for.
Looks like I added. Oops, my bad. So we need 14, 11.
So did he opt to play another like duress from the graveyard with Kess? Is that what?
Yeah,
he did?
so he played his Kess for 4 mana, and then he flashed back to Collective Brutality, choosing all 3 modes, taking away the Skullcrack from Brett's hand, gaining 2 life.
Now
and
doesn't the card in his hand the Boros Charm or what is it?
Boros Charm.
When he swings,
Uh-huh.
Boros Charm plus the Prowess Trigger should be enough to go through the Kess, but then he's pretty much out of cards, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
What was that? What card is that?
Looks like it's a Lightning Skelemental, a 6/1 Ball Lightning that makes you discard 2 if it deals damage to you.
So you have to block it.
It has Trample, though. Looks like he just wants to preserve his life total a little bit.
Wow.
So I believe that puts him to 10.
So the life
He
total
still has to discard 2.
advantage is switched.
Yeah.
These matches aren't timed, so there's no reason for Brett to scoop early.
Top deck's another Swifty.
Yeah, but he's
And
pretty
beat
much
it.
out of gas.
That's fair, yeah. They're both top decking. Granted, Michael does have a Kess, and that's a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, that's every turn another card.
Yep. Oh, he's unearthing the Skelemental again.
That deck looks hella fun.
Yeah.
Is this guy always playing hella fun decks? Or what?
That or Jund.
Yeah.
Looks like he takes 9, going to 1.
Holy
Oh no, there's a block.
moly.
We see a block. Curious. He blocks the Skelemental. It probably takes 4 plus the 3, 7.
Okay, it's 3/11 with trample. So he does block.
He does. He activates the Jace, flips it to a Planeswalker.
Oh my goodness! Talk about putting a nail in it.
Yep, we're getting tons
Holy
of value. He's gonna
moly, dude!
flashback. And he flashbacks the
Yeah, that looks
collective
like a
tally for
scoop.
2.
Yeah, that was super dope. Wow,
So-
nice to see that happen. Brett gets to go first now, so this should be good. Really glad to see this this match go to game 3. Really dope. This is sick.
Okay, both players are reviewing the sideboards, making changes.
You know, I don't know that Michael needs to change much. I didn't see him draw a single card that I thought was bad in this matchup.
Ooh, it looks like Brett might be doing something spicy. He might be bringing in the creatures that he took out.
Against a control deck, you just need to play more threats.
Definitely agree.
Especially since there's no kind of wrath or overarching control here. It's pretty much Grixis has almost always been a 1-for-1 style control deck.
Yep.
So if you can get a good 7 hand with plenty of threats in there and just enough lands, going first, pretty legit.
Agree, yeah. Burn thrives on going first.
Yeah. Yes, man. Oh, thank you. I got you, man. Actually, you guys are helping me out. You get all the snacks and drinks you want.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah. So, as far as burn decks, right? What are we seeing these days? If I were to go right now to a GP or a high level competition, what kind of burn should I expect to see?
Most burn decks, before the ban, most burn decks were more like the red prowess decks. You might have seen some mono
Similar
red
to
Phoenix
this.
versions.
Oh, okay, the Phoenix stuff.
The burn decks after the ban seem to have reverted to the normal red-white version. Some of them have tried splashing green for Destructive Reverie in the sideboard.
Yeah,
but,
I remember that.
But most of them are just straight red-white. A lot of them are just running the.
You know, it seems backwards, right? If you have a format with less graveyard play, you expect to face less sideboard hate. So why wouldn't you continue to put in the Phoenixes and all that?
Well, there's currently no way to discard Phoenix very well.
Oh, that's right, because Faithless Looting.
Yeah, Faithless Looting really
That was
shook
the
up a lot
number
of
one
decks.
way.
Yeah, it really killed a lot of
So
graveyard decks.
unless you resort to, say, some more suboptimal ways, maybe from standard, you're just kind of...
You're stuck with the Phoenix in the hand all the time.
Okay.
So he's just playing a traditional red-white burn deck. I think the newest addition to the deck is between 4 and 6 copies of the Horizon lands. So Sunbay Canyons and sometimes the Fire Outlets.
Oh my goodness, they both mold. Holy moly. I gotta say, this is not where Burn wants to mow.
It's true.
This hurts Burn more than it does Grixis. Actually, I feel it's kind of even, right? If you have, it's literally 1-for-1 answers versus.
Yeah,
But when you have a draw engine in your deck and the Burn player doesn't, it just feels a little worse for the Burn player.
that's totally fair. I think Brett's biggest advantage is that he is going first this game. It's just really strong in Modern to be able to be on the play game 1 and 3. Ooh, let's take a look. That's not a terrible hand. It looks like he has an Eidolon. Michael might have a tough time going through that Eidolon.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know. If he plays Eidolon, okay. So yeah, it's going to hit his cantrips. It's going to hit maybe his hand removal.
Yeah, and all the rest of his removal only costs 1.
I think the best card he played all game was, there was that one Dispel. But then I guess the only thing it's not going to hit is going to be his Cryptic Command.
Cryptic Command and Cast, I think, are the only two things that are safe.
Spike. And then he fetched, so I think he's at 18 now.
Yep. Looks like Michael responded to Brett fetching.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Looks like we got a commentator in the works here too, right? You know, it blows my mind how knowledgeable you guys are. You got a lot of very knowledgeable, very skilled players at Senpai's.
Just play way too much Magic.
Yeah.
Looks like he casts Eidolon.
It's never too much.
17 all. Brett's been taking 2 damage from his Sunbaked Canyon. Oh, he looks like Michael is shocking. Wait.
We're confirming with the judge on the live
Yeah,
total here.
17, 16.
I guess he didn't go
He
to
didn't
17.
shock. No. Sorry.
Let's ask if he's at 17. Okay.
$18, 14 Eidolon damage. So the trigger one on the stack. For the Fatal push, Michael is at 14. Brett's at 18. I think we are confirmed. We're confirming his life total 18. It looks like Michael's just in.
Yeah, he confirms. So now the score is officially 17-11.
Great.
All right. After the lava spike. So yeah, it was the pain land.
That makes sense, yeah. Looks like Brett isn't applying too much pressure. He's giving Michael an opportunity to shock himself down to 9.
Wow. I mean, well, you got to play the land you have.
That's true. And Skelemental's pretty good. Oh, he takes another shock.
Oh, that's a bolt.
That's one bolt. That's one less bolt going to Michael's face, though. Looks like Brett only has 1 card in hand.
Michael's got 4.
Looks like Brett is running out of gas. Hopefully the Sunbaked Canyons get him out of it. Passes back to Michael. Michael plays his 4th land.
He is curving out here. You think we're going to see Kess this turn, or are you going to leave mana open?
I think he's going to leave mana open and probably represent a Cryptic Command.
Especially at 8 life, right?
Yeah, it's a bit dangerous for him to tap out at this point. But since Brett only has 1 card in hand, it might be the right thing to do.
Oh, you play 1 card, I'll counter it. Stabilize.
Serum Visions.
You know, when I play control and I
Yeah.
stabilize, I dab.
Did you really?
Every time.
Did
Just
you ever
dab
dab
on
too
him.
early?
Huh?
Did you ever dab too early? Think you stabilized and just died?
All the time. I'm not that good.
That's funny.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. Senpai's is starting to host streamed Modern tournaments every Saturday starting at 4. This is just a feature event to kickstart everything, but we'll be here every week.
Best place to play Modern.
Oh, soon will be the best place. Serum Visions, both bottom.
Ooh. It's kind of rough. Looks like Brett's going to go on end step to crack his Sunbaked Canyons to get out of this flooding situation.
Nice.
He's going to crack the second one. Looks like he's going to take his draw step.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Judge.
I think he drew a mountain.
There we go.
Nice.
So much to keep up with in Modern. It's so hard to keep from misplaying it.
End step, it looks like he
that the-
is. Yeah, it looks like he's casting K command on his end step. Probably making his opponent discard and bringing back the Lightning Skelemental.
Ooh, that's a really good play.
Looks like he's probably not going to have any cards in his hand very soon.
I'm mean, he can shoot it when it comes on field, but other than that,
It's true. It's very true.
It still leaves him untapped at the end of his turn. It still leaves Michael untapped, you know. What did he play?
He played a skull crack. And he ends
So
up
he discards the
path to
path.
exile because it was the last card in his hand. It's a risky
Wow.
move.
What else could he have done? I don't know that there's much more you can do there.
Well, you could have. It looks like Brett is trying to prioritize pushing damage through. Alternatively, he could have just discarded the skull crack and kept the path in hand, anticipating that Mike would have to play some kind of a creature.
I guess he feels like you have to draw into burn.
Yeah,
You
it
have to
seems
draw
like-
that's that much more burn you have to draw into, I guess.
Yep.
What is that card? Is that the Jace?
Yeah, Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Yeah.
Ooh, he let him bolt him to the face.
To the face. All right, I see the game he's playing here.
Yeah, all he has to do is draw another lightning bolt. And
He
get it
feels
through.
confident that Michael doesn't have a counter spell.
He does, and Michael does not counter it.
This could be anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Brett is banking off drawing on the end step from that Sunbait Canyon.
Does
And
he have enough mana to flip Jace, get the Serum Visions, and then maybe dig? I don't think he has the mana for it either, right?
I think he might. He has 5 cards. He has more than 5 cards in his graveyard, so Jace flips.
So that was tap to flip.
Yep. He drew and he discarded another Jace. Oh, I see.
Woo!
It looks like he might be saving that Jace activation to cast his Collective Brutality twice.
Oh my goodness, that's really sick.
He drained his opponent for 2 life. Thought Scour, okay. Looks like
Really
Michael
nice
is trying
play.
to insulate himself just
Really,
in case.
really
Ooh, he
nice
drew
play.
a Dragon Skull Summit. Looks like he can cast it twice. He was searching for that second black source. So Michael just gained himself
Wow!
a lot
He's
of
up
life.
to 6.
He's insulated
Holy
himself.
moly.
Now it looks like Brett's only out is to draw double bolts.
This is where you dab.
Ooh, he didn't crack. He didn't crack the Sunbait Canyon.
Hey, Aleem808, how you doing? Yeah, appreciate it. We have a little bit of a glare today, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Normally we stream in the evenings, but we're gonna figure out how to get the glare off of there.
Brett just passes. Michael plays a Lightning Skelemental and attacks for 6, forcing Brett to either play or discard his card. Brett looks like he's taking the damage, going to 5.
Wow!
So here's where it could matter. Let's see what happens. Fetch land.
I mean,
pluses
he's
the
got
Jace.
cards, and Brett doesn't. This is not looking good.
Let's see.
He said he plus Jace with no target. That's what the judge is telling us.
Yeah. Just a friendly reminder that Skelemental goes away at the end of the turn. Ooh, Brett just draws a land. End of turn, Michael bolts Brett's down to 2. Looks
Okay,
like Michael's the burn deck now.
Judge is saying we missed the end of turn sack trigger.
Yep.
That was just corrected.
Yep.
So the score is 2-6
Yep.
with the bolt.
It looks like Michael is using the last of Jace to bolt Brett. Looks like Brett might be sacking the Canyon
In response to bolt, that's what he's saying.
to dying.
That's it.
Oh,
All
good.
right, good match. Wow, really great match. Let me get Michael over here so we can ask him a little bit about this crazy deck, and we'll prepare for the next match. Go ahead and there you go. Tell us what you think about that.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy game. Looks like Michael's sideboard came in handy. He won games 2 and 3 pretty quick. It looked like Brett wasn't able to push through all the damage, and Michael just stabilized. What did you think about that?
I thought that it was fun learning more about Magic. I'm still new, so I have to listen really hard when they talk about all the different strategies.
There are a lot of cards in Modern. There's a ton of cards to know. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn, but
It can
it's
be
still
pretty
really
intimidating.
interesting
Yeah.
to play with. So I don't know. You get better the more you watch, so these live streams are really important, I think.
That's totally true. Yeah, it's always
Sean
fun
watches
watching.
all the time. I kind of watch. That's true.
That's cute. That's super cute. Looks like Michael is getting ready. He'll probably be over here soon. We'll talk to him about his deck a little bit.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're going to go on a quick intermission. See you soon, guys.
I didn't know what to say.
I don't think it records an intermission. Does it sound okay?
It's too hot in here.
Does it sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds great. It's just the video and the actual live, we're like 45 seconds behind, but it's all good.
That's engineered, right?
Huh?
Didn't you guys set it
I
up there,
heard
right?
it. I heard it all. That's why I had the headphones because I was double checking for any audio loss
Yeah.
or any missed video.
Okay.
So it went perfect.
Nice.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, well, no, you're good there. You're fine. Oh, it's okay. All right, so here we go. We got the man himself.
All right.
Whoop, whoop.
Announcer.
Announcer, announcing.
All right, so we've got Michael here. That was a sick match. Congratulations, that was fun.
Thank you.
On a little feature exhibition match.
was fun.
That deck was nuts, dude. Like,
Sometimes it works.
Do you
Yeah.
just like where? Do you just wake up in the middle of the night and write things down? Like, where do you get these crazy ideas from? That was nuts.
I think for most people, the best ideas come in the shower.
In the shower.
Yeah.
Dude, magic in the shower
Showering
is like
is
really
really
expensive.
good. For
Well, you got to double sleeve everything.
Oh, okay.
But it does work. I've submerged a goif overnight, and it's totally
really?
waterproof. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. Got a perfect fit upside down, guys.
Damn.
So why don't you give us a little bit about your deck and like what your strategy
Okay,
is?
so I really fell in love with the card Skelemental when it first came out in Modern Horizons, and I got really excited to try it with Faithless Looting, and then they banned Faithless Looting, which I was excited about because that card is awful in the format. But I still really miss the fact that you could like reanimate Skelemental off of Thunderkin Awakener or like double Unearth for 2 of them on turn 2. So I wanted to try something goofy like that.
Sure.
And I realized that Thought Scour is probably one of the better cards to replace Faithless Looting with.
That's a good
I already really like Grixis, and Kologon's Command has probably never been better in Modern since Splinter Twin was legal. So the Red-Black Shell plus Thought Scour was kind of how I got started, and then JVP also is a good discard outlet. So JVP, Jade's Friend's Prodigy, Collector Brutality, I have 4 of those in total in the main board, and so there are ways you can early pitch a Skelemental if you awkwardly draw one, and you have Serum Visions to set up a Thought Scour into Skelemental plus Unearth. So you can do it as early as turn 2, just like you could with Faithless Looting, but it takes a little bit of setup. So Burn is a really awkward matchup for that reason. That's why I have 3 Collector Brutality in the 75.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we saw you casting Collective Brutality a number of times and flashing it back and casting it again.
Yeah, it's great with Cass.
The only thing I got from all of that was that showering is really good for your magic game.
That's why he plays blue, right?
You gotta shower, especially before GPs, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael. Names and decks in the chat.
Well,
Grix is garbage.
it's just garbage. That's
Is that
what it's
the-
called.
Is that the name of
That's
it?
the deck name.
No, but it may as well be.
We should.
Alright.
Yeah, next time you're on
I'm
camera.
cool with that.
It's Grix is garbage until we find a better name.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll
Man.
get you back on camera.
Yeah. Thanks.
So if it loses to Burn, is it a trash fire?
I suppose it is. Do I have to acknowledge that comment?
No, no. Hey,
Cool.
that was sick, man. Way to stabilize.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Really good. We really loved the play you did with Collective Brutality, finding that land,
Yeah.
casting it again. That was sick.
It
That
it
was
felt
pretty
good.
sick. Yeah.
Congrats.
Do you want to switch back?
It's up to you.
So it looks like our next matchup, we'll be seeing Michael again on Grixis Death Shadow, and he'll be facing Naya mid-range this time.
No, it's someone else.
Oh, is it someone else?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I missed.
Hold
It's
on.
Grixis Death
Michael!
Shadow versus, looks like we have a
Rubenstein.
Naya mid-range, Naya
Full
Stoneforge. So we're just on Naya Stoneblade.
Yes. Their
this
name.
updated.
Their name.
But
You're
I'm
so,
listening.
You're so pretty.
I'm listening.
You're so pretty.
I'm hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth.
You're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So we'll just get the names
I'm
confirmed.
really good at listening. I just can't say
Let's get over
the
to
things
the
yet.
player and see how they're doing. All right.
I'm doing my job, Sean.
Good.
I'm here.
Looks like they're still shuffling up.
Oh, I love his playmat. It's my favorite one in the whole shop.
Nice.
And
Which
his
one?
dice. Look, his dice are so huge.
Yeah.
Okay, there's like a little teddy bear, and it's like
Oh, that
coming
is
up.
dope. With the
It's
sword.
yeah. What is that from? I don't even know what it's from. It's just adorable.
I'm kind of jealous now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I want dice like that. I'm obsessed with like collecting really odd-sized dice.
Oh wow, those dice are really big.
Yeah, they're big and they're wooden, so that's weird.
That's true. That's very true. Oh, let's get those life totals reset.
You can make a song for when they shuffle, so that you can entertain people with your.
Yeah, we should totally get the shuffle song.
The shuffle song?
I'm gonna work
Yeah.
on it.
Okay, how about what we do is we clip to a camera angle of your feet shuffling.
Oh yeah, okay.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Do some shuffling.
Looks like Servando's on the play.
That's nice.
So hopefully we get to see the power of Stoneforge Mystic.
I'm gonna adjust their stuff a little bit for them. I'll be right back.
Okay. So hopefully we'll see a turn 2 Stoneforge into a turn 3 Battle Skull, and we're hoping to see some hand disruption from Servando, and hopefully some pretty quick Death
I
Shadows.
think we just saw some hand disruption.
He's disrupting his own hand. That's what he's doing. Shuffle,
Oh,
shuffle,
I
shuffle,
see.
shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
He was making it more beautiful for you guys.
He was, yeah.
He did a very nice job. It's very nice.
So we're gonna have a name change.
Okay.
We were confused.
Dazed and confused.
Where's the confusion?
Servando.
Oh, so we're swapping the names? Names are correct now. What?
Ernesto,
Ernesto.
not Eduardo.
Eduardo.
Oh, okay.
Ernesto.
Gotcha.
Announce it in a sexy Latin voice, please.
Ernesto
Ernesto.
versus
En
Servando.
Servando. Y Senpais.
Y senpais.
Did I spell that right?
There's an E in Ernesto.
You have to make a really detailed and graphic story of everything going on, like a Telemundo.
Like a Telemundo.
Yeah.
Well,
That's legit.
What did Ernesto do?
they both mulligan.
I'm done.
Servando cracks Mistress Bobble turn 1. Takes a look at the top.
It takes about one match for this to turn into complete head asser.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, it's the best.
Looks like he's gonna follow up with a Street Wraith. Puts him to
Good job.
18.
Good job. You know what I like about Modern is it's fast, man. Something's always happening.
It's true. It's very true.
It doesn't look fast when you're new. It looks really
Yeah.
confusing.
Looks like Servando may have missed the upkeep bobble trigger.
He bobbled the bobble.
Again, guys, every Saturday at 4, we're going to be doing Modern event, Senpai's Cards and Anime. He's the judge.
So we're just gonna do a quick rewind, just because
Yeah,
it was
quick rewind.
some
Hey,
miscommunication.
Brett. What's up? Yes, we are. Do you want to commentate?
No, definitely not. But
You're good. You're
are.
good.
is it voice commentating or typing?
Voice.
Voice. Yeah.
Technically, you're kind of commentating.
So correcting misdraw.
Yep.
That's what Michael's telling us. It's
Yep.
18, 17.
Yep. It looks like Ernesto fetched and he shocked, and he played a Noble Hierarch.
I'm actually not sure how strong the mic is, honestly.
It's pretty decent. You can check out the stream if you want.
Looks like Servando's responding
I just
on the end
linked it on
step
the
with a
Facebook.
fetch into a shock into a fatal push. And And with that, we could see a Death Shadow as early as next turn.
45 seconds off from the game play
Like I was still shuffling up here.
Man, I wonder who has the most expensive deck today.
Yeah, I'm there. I was shuffling.
I don't know, that Grixis deck looked pretty expensive, but we got Grixis Death Shadow here,
That's
which
true. That's
it's an
true.
established deck, man.
That's
Oh, here
very
we go.
true. Played a Bloodstained Mire, another fetch land. Let's see where we go. Does he shock? Does he play the
He
1/1
might just
Death
wait
Shadow?
till the opponent's turn. I mean, Stoneforge Mystic is complete pain in the butt. You're gonna want to bolt it. You're gonna
He's
want to
about
kill
to
it.
find out with this Ooh.
Oh
Stoneforge
wow, we see it. There it
and a
is.
Ranger.
I have not seen that card
Ranger?
played on a table in so long. It's just tripping me out.
Oh,
I can't believe it's off the ban list.
Oh.
No, Stoneforge Mystic.
I see.
I haven't seen that. The last time I saw that played was
Well, you know, it's never
6-7 years
it's never
ago.
been legal in Modern.
right.
Yeah,
it was
it got banned before Modern was a format,
right.
and Modern started with Stoneforge on the ban
It
list.
was really just terrorizing Standard back in the day. Cawblade was the name of the deck, and what they would use, it would use the Stoneforge Mystic to get out Feast
Batterskull.
and Famine, right?
Yeah, and the swords.
And then all the different swords, but Feast and Famine was the terrible one because it was essentially a control style deck. And what they would do is they would play this one of the Hawks, I forget.
Squadron Hawk.
Squadron Hawk. And when you play one Squadron Hawk, you get to search the other Squadron Hawks.
Yep.
And so you get to play one every turn. Well, the reason that's important is anytime you search in Magic, you shuffle. Well, Jace the Mind Sculptor, aka Jace the Wallet Emptier, would basically let you brainstorm. So look at the top 3 cards of your deck, pick one you want, put the other 2 back. Well, you don't want to draw the other 2. If you wanted them, you would have picked them, right?
Right.
So then you play the bird
shuffle.
and you shuffle.
Yep.
Or you fetch with one of your lands and you shuffle. And then after you've done all this offense, you swing with one of the birds that has a sword, and if you deal damage, it untaps your land, so now you get to play control. It was the most unfair thing ever.
Yep, it was a cheeky way to draw 3
You
cards.
guys always know so much about this stuff. I learn every time I hear people talking about like the past, because like I wasn't around then to know about anything.
Oh my goodness, we were just talking about this, right? Batterskull?
Yep.
Oh no.
So I know
Batterskull's
I
coming
love
out.
those lands. I just picked
These
them up.
ones?
Yeah,
The one-
Yeah,
the-
she really likes the
planes?
unglued ones.
Unglued?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
from the
are
first
legit.
I
onset.
think they're pretty.
So it looks like Ernesto played a turn 2
Big and
Stoneforge.
style on this
He
side.
grabbed a token
Just all
Batterskull.
of that.
Yeah, like
Let's
his
see
hands are really
if
expressive, too. Like, I swear to
Servando
God, I can see his mood every
can-
turn when
can
he's
kill
playing
this
his
Stoneforge.
hand. He was like crossing his arms and like doing hand gestures.
Hey, Dark Angel, I see you with that Stoneforge love.
I feel like the Stoneforge is short-lived though.
You don't think it's gonna last long?
No, it looks like Servando fetch and he's shocked.
Oh, it's time to blow it up.
Seems like it might be. This Death Shadow's already a 4/4.
My name is Servando. You
gotta
killed
put
my
this
father.
on me.
Prepare to die.
There's a small chance Ernesto might die here. Looks like
Right
he
now? He's
just
gonna
got
die
hit.
right now?
He just got hit for 4, but you never know when these.
So Death Shadow comes out with -13, -13. Right? And the issue is it gets bigger the less life you have. So once you get below small life total, it starts to get really big.
Yep.
Right?
Looks like Servando just can't let that Stoneforge live, so he casts Snapcaster, flashes back the Fatal Push, killing the Stoneforge before Ernesto gets to untap with it.
Yes. Yes, B-Red, there is a lot of Stoneforge builds, which is good. It needs to find its place in the meta. We need to see how good it really is and what kind of decks it belongs in. Hopefully it's not in too many decks. I'd like to see it settle in maybe 2 or 3 major decks.
Ooh, he follows up with a Knight of the Reliquary. Let's see if this is good enough.
See, right? His hands are like expressive.
We know what he's doing. Yeah.
You know how you feel, man.
I think this
Feels
Knight
weird,
is a
man.
5/5 right now.
Knight is a 5/5. 3 lands in graveyard.
Missed
We're
the
getting
first
really
land.
good information from Michael. He's a pro.
It's true. Michael's pretty good. Ooh, he thoughts he's his. Puts him down to 7.
See, when he dropped him, he's like,
Doing.
That Batterskull.
Yeah.
Right in the graveyard. Looks like Ernesto takes the 5. Oh, he takes 6 from
The Death Shadow is a 6/6 according to Michael here. Wow, this is close, but
yeah. I'm surprised that Knight of the Reliquary has lived. Things could get pretty interesting.
Woo.
Knight can be potentially a 7/7.
Yeah.
He could also be running some tricky lands. He could be running Sageuri Step to give it protection from the color of his choice. He could be running lands that give it plus. Just confirming the size of the Death Shadow.
Wow.
Walnut, another card that was banned at one point.
I love that card. Let's just get a 3/3 for 1. Thanks.
Seems good.
I'm glad you're here because I know what all these cards do, but I can't remember the names of them for the life. It's just my brain does not calculate that, and we can't read them that well from the camera. Kind of. Sometimes we can, but good to have someone knowledgeable.
I feel like he knows like every card that has ever existed in Magic at the top of a hat.
I promise you he doesn't, but
Ridiculous.
that's
That's how he makes you feel though when you hang out with him.
yeah.
You're like, what's that card? He's like, oh, it's this one.
Well, if you guys want to see more Sean commentating action, please let us know because he's a pretty good contender for our future commentations.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, man. And Servando and Ernesto are not holding anything back.
Yeah, it looks like they're presenting equally sized creatures. Looks like Ernesto wants to trade. Oh, it looks like he's doing some tricky things with Knight of the Reliquary. Let's see.
Uh-oh. He picked up his deck. We're searching.
Yeah, we're searching. What could he have? Ooh, it's a Ghost Quarter.
We're blowing something up.
We are blowing something up.
I mean, he has considerably more lands, right?
He does.
This could really hurt. I mean, you pop one of those lands, you pop the right one. In fact, he only has one red source, so...
And it's unlikely that the Grace's Death Shadow player has a mountain in his deck. Ooh, he just lets it die. What is in his hand?
I missed that. How did he kill the Death Shadow?
So the Night originally was a 5/5.
Right.
He ended up sacking his Horizon Cannon to make it a 6/6, and then he activated the Night to make it a 7/7 from the forest.
Oh,
Searching
wow.
out the Ghost Quarter, having it potentially be an 8/8 if he decided to blow up one of the lands.
What a play. Is that typically how you run the deck?
Knight of the Reliquary deck's can be pretty tricky.
Okay.
As long as the Knight stays alive for one turn, it can be
So
pretty
you're
difficult to
searching
do.
lands and battle tricks at the same time.
Yep.
Well, that's so powerful.
Yeah, depending on the lands that you choose to run, it can be pretty hard to play around. Because I don't think Servando knows what lands are in this deck.
What's the mana cost there?
For Knight, Knight is a 3-drop. It's just 1 white and a green.
Well, I mean, I didn't see him put any removal in the graveyard for 1.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. I don't think Servando has anything left. He's just playing a Ambush Viper or Snapcaster to block, and it looks like Servando can't handle it anymore.
All right,
Ernesto
so game
takes
1.
game 1.
It's pretty dope. Yeet. Naya Stoneforge picking up game 1.
Ironically, Stoneforge didn't do anything that game.
It thinned the deck.
It died, and then Battle Skull got Thoughtseize.
That's right, yeah. But he could have thought he's something else. I gave him one hand advantage.
That's
For 2
true.
mana, he negated the Thoughtseize.
This is very
and
true.
got a creature.
It's very true.
And a removal. It was a 2 for 1. 3 for 1? 2.5 for 1.
Technically, this is true.
Whatever. Hey guys, we're gonna go to game 2 here. Ernesto pulling it off with Naya Stoneforge. These are just some feature matches that we're doing for today. We're having fun testing out this streaming equipment. but we're going to be doing this every Saturday. We've got Michael Rubenstein as the judge today. We've got Sean Gow as a commentator, accompanied by the lovely Allison and myself. I'm David. We're going to be doing this every week, so if you want to come to a nice modern tournament and get your crazy deck ideas on the internet, you want to show that you did it first, or you think you can get internet famous by winning here, go ahead, come on down every Saturday at 4 p.m. We're going to be doing this. So.
David's setup's pretty sweet, and he has all these fancy transitions. All these
I'll show him the intermission screen. I'm so proud of this.
Let's take a look at the intermission screen. Whoosh. Look at that. Look at that background.
Yeah, I need some Magic
Ooh,
partners
so
so I can get that logo on there.
You do, yeah. Get that Magic card logo on there.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're just gonna get like a stream viewer, and just you have cards popping up there.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Yeah, we do.
Live screen.
It's pretty snazzy though.
But it is pretty snazzy. Look at this transition.
I like
Snap.
looking at it.
Whoa.
Wait,
what's
we're
up?
back. And of course, Senpai always has the best selection of snacks.
Yeah.
You can see behind us.
I get a
all
Snickers
these
like
lovely
every time
snacks.
I come.
So let's see. Let's go to see if we can see what these guys are sideboarding.
Let's see.
Sneak a peek.
All right, we're back. Let's see. Looks like they're just finishing up sideboarding.
You know, the more you tell me that about the playmat, the more I like it. What's up,
It's
Brett?
so cute.
It is.
I owe you $4, but you want to just do it next Saturday?
Yeah, that's fine. I got you, man. You headed out or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch football.
Oh, have fun. See ya, Brett.
This is pretty fun.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
I
definitely-
like it.
We should definitely do this every Saturday.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down.
I can make Sean say silly stuff.
Silly things like
Very
what?
easily.
Like what?
Like,
Oh, someone in chat loves Sean.
oh yeah, I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
I wonder. We should all love Sean.
Oh dear.
Sounds like a good time.
Sounds like a good time. For the best times, come to Senpai Cards and Anime every Saturday at 4 p.m.
Servando cited out one card.
Huh.
I'm not going to say what it is just in case. I don't want to give any information away. But, yeah. Oh, no, he cited out 3 cards.
Huh.
1 TS, 1 Dismember, 1 Stubborn Denial. Okay.
Man,
That should be interesting.
Michael's on point with that reporting.
He's the best we've ever had. This is our first one.
I was about to ask, how many Michaels have we gone through?
Yeah.
Turns out when you're the first, you're also the best.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
dude, we've got some
protein
food.
bar.
Protein bar. That's next level
He's
right
fueled
there.
up.
He's pretty swole.
You
This
know
dude's in
what?
shape, you know.
I
I
freaking
can't
love,
take it from him.
I freaking love. I know he did it earlier. He has an entire gallon of water.
He does.
He brings it for every tournament.
Oh,
every
yeah?
tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every weekend he brings.
Meanwhile,
the
I'm
whole-
eating pizza with hot sauce.
Yep.
Mad respect. I think he drinks the whole gallon while he's here too.
Yeah, I think so. He really does.
Little competitors here.
By the way, if any of you guys stream and you ever see Launchables on Twitch, he's the one that did all my transitions. Sorry, this is spicy. He did all the transitions and the scoreboards and everything. So if you ever need that kind of work done, just get in contact with us. I'll put y'all in contact with him, or if you know him from Twitch, just give him a message. He's really good at that.
Launchables.
Yeah, I thought you said Lunchables.
I thought you said Lunchables too.
I was like-
Launchables.
Launchables.
He's sponsored
Like
by
Lunchables, but
Oscar
Lunchables.
Meyer.
He's going to eat this lunch, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
He's an FGC guy,
Okay.
fighting games guy.
All right.
Oh,
makes sense.
cool.
In fact, he's in charge of Houston Tech and Network.
Oh wow.
That's really neat.
That's his logo with the fist.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Thought you guys were just bros at Senpai's.
The fist is a nice touch.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
That's fair.
I feel like it matches, you know, the theme. Cards and Anime, little fist,
He's just my partner.
combat.
Nice. Looks like Ernesto shipped
Now,
it back.
now these matches today are not timed, so we're giving them plenty of time to sideboard and think about their life. And
Think about their life.
yeah, we're
Eat
just
a
having
protein
good time.
bar. Drink a
Normally
gallon
the
of
matches
water.
would obviously be timed. Next week event will be basically featuring Table 1, maybe some other tables that have some interesting matchups, but obviously those will be timed.
Sure. Looks
Today
like
we're just promoting.
Ernesto has a handful of Stoneforge Mystics, so we'll probably be seeing one on turn 2.
That's my favorite play in Modern, right there.
Turn 1 Serum Visions.
Yeah, get yourself into a steam vent, Serum Visions.
Oh, what's this? What's this? Never mind.
No, he's thinking about it. You're right.
He's thinking about
He is thinking about his life.
He got a piece of paper, and I thought it was going down.
Oh.
Wait a second. I think that.
Ooh, top bottom.
Did you say top knot?
Top and bottom.
Oh, top and bottom. Oh, okay.
What's he trying to say, Sean?
He didn't even look at the cards. Oh, both bottom. Never mind.
There's a bobble. That's how we do this right here.
It's true.
Oh, he said bobble too. Michael can't even hear us, and he said bobble too. What does that mean?
Oh, so what he's
Their
telling
card's
us
called bobble.
is because of the glare, I asked him any like cards that may be hard to recognize. He's going ahead and letting us know what the play is. And then
No, what does bobble mean?
Oh, that's
For all
the
of
name.
us
It's called
novice.
Mishra's Bobble.
Yeah.
Oh crap! This whole time I thought bobble was like it's
A
like
type of play,
You know, like
like-
when you're playing football and people say like a fumble.
Fumble?
Yeah.
I thought bobble.
That's what a bobble is. In Magic, if you're going to get misplay, it's
You're
called a
gonna
bobble.
start a trend now. Whenever somebody looks at the top of their deck and they're not supposed to, we're gonna call it a
Oh
bobble.
no, it was a
Yep.
bobble.
It was a missed bobble.
Yep. Looks like Servando did end up finding that land. Ooh, Inquisition. He's gonna see this fistful.
Was his card dirty? Sorry, never mind.
This
Maybe
fist.
you gotta keep your cards clean. It's part of the rules.
Yeah.
You do. Gets a
And
stealth
these guys
out of his
spend
hand.
plenty of money on their deck, so the sleeves have to be on point. That card taps for a white or a green, right?
Or blue.
Or blue.
Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch. That's the name of it. I told you. I know these cards. I just never forget I never remember their names.
Side note: if you need sleeves, Senpai's cards.
We have a lot of sleeves.
Actually, Sean, do you have enough sleeves for your sister-in-law? 'Cause
No, I actually
you
need to
like
buy
He
some.
needs like 200 sleeves.
I do.
We can work some out.
I'm
He made me remember.
Yeah, I'm eyeing those the Dragon Shield art sleeves. Those are pretty sweet.
Oh yes,
Dragon
and
Shield.
they're very affordable.
They're releasing new ones soon. The
I
Cowboy
love the
Bebop
Dragon
ones.
Shield.
Wait, what?
Cowboy Bebop. They put art on Cowboy Bebop. On Dragon Shield sleeves from Cowboy
Wow,
Bebop, and they're
that's-
super popular. They were exclusive at Gen Con this year, and a lot of people are waiting for them to come out in a couple months.
Man, I'm gonna be all over that. That fits with our anime theme.
It does.
Yeah, you can expect to see those here.
I didn't know that Dragon Shield made art cards because I always just see their standard matte and regular.
It's very recent.
They
It
just started.
Yeah, and they started off with those weird-looking dragons.
Yeah. Each one of them is supposed to have a story of some sort.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Servando's doing a great job of losing life.
David, I owe you $1.
Thank you.
Let's see. He cycled a Street Wraith.
Ernesto's really calm over there waiting.
Yeah, it looks like Ernesto doesn't have a ton of pressure, but looks like he's setting himself up for an explosive turn. Servando's hand is probably a whole bunch of removal.
Oh, he's got 2 of those ladies, and he's cleaning his
does.
card. He's cleaning his cards again. What are the ladies?
Noble Hierarchs. They are 1-mana mana dorks that have exalted.
Manadoric. I love that word.
It is a cute word.
I too love Dork.
You guys should have a little cute pop-up of definitions.
You should. We could have like a little
I don't
thing.
think anybody does that, and like, I would love live streaming a little bit more if like they had a live stream for dummies.
Yeah, we
you know?
should. We should have like little terms that we could pop up on the screen, like mana dork.
Are you
fetch,
calling my
crack.
viewers dummies? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
I'm
just
calling
kidding.
myself a magic dummy. Is there a Magic the Gathering for dummies?
There should be.
There should be.
It's called Arena.
It's called Arena. That's pretty funny. That is super funny.
I love Arena. Arena's awesome. It's brought so many new people to my shop.
Yeah,
Arena
I believe it.
plugin.
Ooh.
That's Light and Shadow. It looks like the Bloodbraid
Spicy.
I
Elf.
wanted to say ooh too just because you guys did. I was like, ooh.
It looks like he hit a Stoneforge Mystic off that Bloodbraid Elf, so he searches for a Sword of Light and Shadow to his hand, which, if he can connect, will gain him 3 life and return a creature from his graveyard to his hand.
That's kind of gross.
It is, especially against Servando, because most of Servando's removal is black. He might only have 1 or 2 bolts in his entire deck, so it shuts off most of his removal. Ooh, Force of Despair. That's a spicy one.
This is going to cause him to discard, right?
No, Force of Despair destroys all creatures that came into play that turn, which was conveniently the Blood Raid and the Stoneforge Mystic.
Wow. Well, that's the kind of card advantage he's going to need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if that sword gets equipped to anything.
Exactly, yeah. Conveniently also circumvents that protection, so
Yeah.
spicy, spicy tech. Cycles another Street Wraith. So we could see a slew of Death Shadows coming from Servando soon.
You think he's going to be recurring from the graveyard?
Potentially, he may have a Snapcaster.
Street Wraith? You're running that in the Grixis Death Shadow list now, huh?
Yeah.
Are they also running the Wrath, the one that like brings back?
You mean like Living Death?
Yeah, they're not bringing out Living End, are they?
No, not at all. No, they just run the Street Raid so you can lose life and draw a card.
Just make Death Shadow bigger.
Yep. You're gonna be pretty potent mid-combat.
Just to be desperate, you can play it, right?
That's true, yeah. Every now and then you
That's
hit
a
5
sword.
mana. It is a sword. So he's hard casting
You
it.
think Servando has enough removal to pop it on equip?
No, his hands look pretty common.
I believe the only way he can probably get rid of it is probably a call against command. He may also counter it, but it won't end out super well. There is a K command. Look at that.
That is a K command. Pew, pew. And then, so he's definitely getting rid of the sword. And then
Exactly,
what?
yeah. Probably kills a Noble Hierarch. I think it was miscommunication. I think it looks like Servando tried to cast it
A lot of
in response to the sword, which you can't do. You have to allow the sword to resolve. And then Ernesto gains priority after that, so he gets to do something else before Servando gets a chance to cast that K command.
Okay. These are casual matches, so no need to rule shark anyone. Oh!
Looks like Ernesto attacks with a Noble Hierarch. Servando goes to 6.
This is getting close. Let's see here. Be right back.
Looks like Ernesto is going to attempt to equip this sword to his Hierarch. This will likely prompt. Yeah, here's the K command from Servando, destroying the sword. And he returned the Street Wraith. Servando casts Liliana, targeting one of the Noble Hierarchs, killing it. Alright, let's see what. Looks like Ernesto's just doing some math. Let's see.
We got one
what
more
he
match
can
after this one.
Perfect.
It's you
Me?
versus Tristan.
Okay.
And he is crazy to do this.
Okay.
And Michael's going to help us commentate while you go beat up a young man.
Sounds great.
Beat up a kid.
Sounds about right.
I don't know what he's playing, but apparently it's spicy.
Okay. Okay. Look at the spice.
Oh, man, I missed the Liliana. Wow,
You
what is
did.
going on?
Yeah, last hope.
She's at 4 or what?
She's at 4 now. She's
Now
at
she's
3.
at 3? Oh, man, she lived a turn?
She
No.
did.
Wait. Do we have a bolt?
We might have one.
YOLO!
Oh, it's a lightning
it's
helix.
The helix, gain
That's-
3. Here we go.
That's good enough.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is.
You better throw everything you got at her.
That's totally fair. She brings an army of zombies every now and then.
She's not cheap either.
Looks like we are having.
Okay,
is there a
Liliana
judge
versus
call?
Stoneforge Mystic. Who's stronger?
Liliana versus Stoneforge Mystic, like the character or the card?
Okay, the card.
The card. Probably Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
If it were Liliana of the Veil, probably of the Veil.
Only you, Sean. Only you. You're like, are you talking about the lore or are you talking about the card?
Well, Liliana's better than all of them.
This is true. It looks like there might have been a discussion about Lightning Helix and whether you can give the life to your opponent, but you cannot.
So Death Shadows are what, 7?
Currently, Death Shadow is a 7/7. Ernesto fetches to 17.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey.
Death Shadow is a 7/7.
I'm mostly just
You wanna commentate the rest of this one with him? No.
Doesn't make any sense.
Then you can't give him a grand introduction. Switch
Oh my
out
god.
Sean.
Oh my god.
Oh, I will.
You guys are
The
too
grandest.
We will make
The
it
grandest.
The grandest.
introduction there ever was. Yours. Your introduction. Because you're gonna switch. Sean?
Yeah.
I have to introduce myself.
No, we
No, I'll introduce you.
You can be me with a different voice if you want. Looks like Ernesto is tapping some mana. So he might be hard casting. It's a hard cast batter
Oh, it's
skull.
a batter skull. Get some.
That germ is kind
Those
of
living
swole.
weapons, man.
Oh man, it
do
gets
work.
stubborn denial.
That's how we do it.
It is.
He's still in this.
He kind of is. He's ran out of cards in his hand. It looks like Servando might be taking over this game.
Are we stabilizing?
I think he is. Yeah, he cast a Force of Despair with its alternate casting cost, removing Street Raid. I don't know how Ernesto comes back from this. Looks like Servando is considering what could potentially kill him.
End of turn, free cast, despair killing, Mikado.
Ooh, protein bar.
Protein bar, yeah, that protein bar will help save him, that's for sure.
He's like, I didn't realize my match was gonna go to game 3.
Ooh, Servando does a bit of a power move, and he goes to 3, casting Teamer Battle Rage
Oh
for
wow!
20 damage.
No.
Wow!
No, no,
I don't think
no.
Ernesto can beat that.
Boom! We blow you up.
One
Just
shot.
like that. That's what I love about that deck. That's, you can hate the deck all you want, but you can go out like that. That's lit.
So we are 1-all.
Hype!
So David, tell us the best thing about Senpais.
The best thing about Senpai,
Yeah.
you're here. That's
me?
the best thing. Yeah. And Michael Kromholtz is here.
I know.
Michael.
Yep. That's the best thing. It's the heart of all modern community in Houston.
Oh,
This
yeah.
guy right here. Yes.
Everyone knows me.
Yes. Modern advocate. You know what he told me today? He said, David, the modern community is underserved, and we deserve better. And I said, you're right. So we did this stream. It's because of this man right here. Yeah.
And this
So-
guy. This guy's pretty important. He kind of owns the shop.
I'm all right. For white dude.
That guy.
Yeah. All right. So you can help us with the next match because Sean's gonna have to go beat up a little kid.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
He
Awesome.
doesn't need my
And we're
help.
gonna watch.
He usually needs my help.
To beat up little kids.
Beat up little kids.
Well, Tristan's deck I heard was pretty spiced, so we don't know anything about it, but
All right.
I was
be-
told it needed to be on stream.
It needed to be on stream? Okay.
It needed to be on stream.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see where
Mostly,
they...
I just really want him to lose on Kim.
Okay.
That's terrible. All right,
Well, let's see if they're ready.
Let's see where they are sideboarding. Oh, it looks like we're catching them drawing this. They're opening 7,
It's pretty dope.
Just in time.
drawing 7 cards. Feels
I
pretty
knew a
good.
guy named Just in Time.
Really? Did you really?
Just in time. That's clever.
Yeah, sure. I'll make one. Yu-Gi-Oh. There you go. Let's put a dice on that.
It's actually really good. It says Storm Dragon's Return.
That's funny.
It says Storm Dragon's Return.
That is
you go.
super funny. What's up?
Keep borrowing my deck.
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Oh, the one you played already?
No, he has 2. He brought 2. Because I forgot my cards this morning.
Oh, that's okay. You were,
We were dancing.
we were dancing.
Yes.
All right. Well, is that a mole?
Yes.
Okay, by Servando.
Yes.
Nice. What? The judge has spoken.
It has spoken.
An actual energy card.
Here, take that rookie thing. Yeah. I don't know. Just take a Senpai's card.
Oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's really smart.
No, it picks up everything. Wait.
Yeah, including a whisper.
Nah, it's
Just
not that
kidding.
good.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's not bad. It's not formal.
We could pass it around.
We could. I would have to talk louder than Sean has to talk. And Allison would have to talk louder than Sean has to talk. You would have to talk louder than any of us because you're back here.
That makes sense. Is this the final round?
No.
It's mulliganing again, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is final game for them. But we're gonna do one more streamed exhibition match between Sean Gao and Tristan Morgan.
That guy looks like he might need help.
Oh.
Kinda. I can go in.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, Juan's got it.
Sorry.
You're fine.
You should bring your soundboard that makes the sound.
Yeah, I used to do as a DJ. I used to have a little sound effect board.
Oh no,
With
it's
like,
sick.
He would sound effect when the teachers would teach.
Yeah, and I would just troll them. You know, they would say a joke, and I would just be like,
Doo-doo.
cricket, or
Oh no.
You gotta do that when they like do stuff.
Yeah, when mulligan, just be like, womp womp.
It would be sick. All right.
I would love that. You should do
How many cards is that?
It's a
Six,
full
right?
7 because we are in the London mulligan.
That's right. I'm so behind.
It's pretty nice to be able to draw up to 7 even when you're on a multi 5. It's pretty good.
So he has to discard 2.
Yeah, bottom 2.
I guess that would be broken. Like
It would
if
be-
you could just discard
Yeah,
anything,
exactly.
that
Just
would be
imagine
awful.
Dread just mulliganing your entire
the
hand
deck
every
would
time.
still be viable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to see?
So, let's see how they decide to start this game.
This match is really good, actually.
Yeah, it's been pretty back and forth. So he's having a hard time deciding what 3 cards. I thought he only mulliganed to 2 though. I guess he mulliganed 3 times.
Roll to 4.
But we have a turn 1 Hex Drinker.
That's a
pretty
power play.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. And the Grixis That Shadow player is probably so concerned about assembling the Temur Battle Rage combination since he's mulliganed so many times, he'd likely put a Fatal Push on bottom. He could get very punished for this.
It's true, he could. It'd only take a couple turns for it to get hexproof protection, sorry, protects from instant sorceries, and then Servano's gonna have a really tough time dealing with it.
Has he seen Hexdrinker already in this match?
I don't think he has. It's the first time he's seen Hexdrinker.
He probably did not side in Liliana the Veil.
Probably not. He did see a range of Captain Vios, but I don't think he suspected the
There's
Hexdrinker.
too many 1-drops for the minus to be especially powerful, I think.
It does make sense in retrospect. Hexdrinker is a surprisingly annoying card.
Yeah, I think it's a 1-of because of the Ranger.
Probably.
So he has access to a few 1-drops.
Okay.
Okay. It's a really interesting Naya deck. It looks like a Stone 4 deck at first, but it really seems to be more like a tutor for your Silver Bullets type of deck.
It does seem like
I've
that.
taken a closer peek at this, and I don't think I haven't seen the full match, but he actually has a Blood Moon in the sideboard.
Does he really?
He does.
Wow, that's
I
super
got got by
spicy.
it last night, actually.
Holy cow. I don't think
that's really good.
Servando. I don't think saw this Thalia either. This is gonna make his life
Notice
kind
how
of a
he
headache.
aggressively fetched for that basic there. It's very likely that he brought in the Blood Moon for this very
Oh dear.
matchup.
Oh dear.
Now, it's kind of a non-bow with a Thalia, but both are so powerful.
Yeah, I think it'll get him there.
He likely
Just-
only needs one tax for the Hex Drinker alone to take over the game.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
it doesn't matter if the Thalia is down, he could just have the Blood Moon later, and
Yeah,
it
I
would still
think-
be enough.
Servando, I don't know if he's. I think Servando might be doing this in response to the Thalia. I don't know if it's resolved. He's just aggressively.
He's trying to
looking.
find something
oh, yeah,
for
he
the
is.
Hex Drinker.
Yeah, he's looking. He just plays a land and pass. Ooh, this might be the turn that Ernesto drops.
Hey,
Drops the
Raphael,
hammer.
thank you so much for the subscription, man. It's very generous of you. We really appreciate it.
All right, do we see Blood Moon? Do we see the Blood Moon?
Oh, now I feel so much pressure.
Awesome.
Like I said, cat's out of the bag, but I don't know that we're going to see it this
Yeah,
game.
JK, we won't see it this turn because Thalia's in play, but
Well, I hope we
but
see it
maybe
this
next
game.
turn.
Everyone's going to call me a liar.
I mean,
But the way he's fetching it makes a lot of sense.
that is a lot of basics.
Yeah. And it plays pretty well with Knight of the Reliquary as well.
Yeah, totally does. Looks like Ernesto's
There's a level
cautiously
up.
leveling up. Let's see
It's
if we
okay
see.
if he plays it turn 4 because as long as it comes out before a cryptic command can be played, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Looks like he's baiting out the response.
You think he's going to go for a basic? You think he sees it?
I don't know if he sees it. He might be just worried about his life total. He might just go for a shot. It looks like
It seems like there's too many things to
Yeah.
worry about. There's
I don't-
already so many axes that he's having to fight through.
I don't think he has the luxury of worrying about basics right now.
Right. I think there's so much to worry about already on board.
Oh, never mind.
Is there a reason to go for the swamp if you don't see how your opponent fetches for basics aggressively or see that a Blood Moon is possible?
He could be worried about dying to the Text Drinker very quickly as a 4/4.
Okay. If it does gain protection from instants, what really does this deck have? There it is.
A
There
giant
it
Death
is.
Shadow, I would say.
A
But
giant Death Shadow. Okay.
You don't want anything to drink?
water. That was a pretty timely Fatal Push,
It was.
but it puts him in an awkward spot just because of this Thalia.
Thanks.
I don't know if Ernesto will find a way to deal with this Thalia before Ernesto can deploy another threat. That's rough.
I think I've seen this in Modern Horizons Limited.
Yeah?
I saw a card similar to that. I think that one was better though. I think you got the Scry first, right?
Maybe you could...
Scour of Possibility
yeah, you
or
go-
something
you
like
could
that.
tell me some of the possibilities.
You should just be playing that.
Yeah,
At
probably.
this rate.
Clearly better, has flashback.
Now would be an incredibly fortuitous find to have Ren in 6.
It's true. It lines
The
up pretty
opponent,
well.
the opponent having Talia and Noble Hierarch. What do you think of that card post ban? Right now, I've only seen it in Jund, but we had Phoenix decks that were running it before as well. Ren in 6, I'm
the
talking
red green
about.
Phoenix decks.
Yeah.
I think the card is an interesting spot just because we have so many Stoneforge decks now that I think it loses a lot of its potency.
So I think that there's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
I think that the lootings that were in the Seismic Assault deck are probably replaced by Ren in 6.
Oh, okay. I
And
can
that
see
was one of the worst looting decks because it was playing Fair Magic. And now that the best looting decks are gone, it might be one of the better Ren in 6 decks.
The lighting on the cards is looking a lot cleaner.
It is.
I totally traded him that basic land a month ago.
Did you really?
I did. Let's see if he gets rewarded for that trade.
I might even put Tristan against Michael Rubenstein because I think he wants a break from all that. All right, let's see here. Did we get any peek at Stoneforge in Ernesto's hand at all?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
There's the first Death Shadow. You have to imagine that he's got a stubborn.
Oh,
that's it.
That's it.
It was a
So-
stubborn denial or a bust. He
So
didn't have it.
Looked like Ernesto got it. All right. I assume, yeah, he got it. All right. Well, that was a really good match.
Yeah, he had it. He revealed the blood moon right there.
Well, let me get these guys set up real quick. Take just a second.
There's some spice. That's the new Dome Reaper from War of the Spark.
Oh
the
yeah,
one
that's
at
really
rare.
good. It's really, really good.
A couple of Grafdigger's cages make sense. Even Mind Sensor. He had two. He had two Blood Moon.
I always run 3, you know.
A little bit of the non-bow with that mainboard Ghost Quarter.
Let's see here. Hello. All right, so Michael, you're going to be commentating on this next one.
Sure.
We may or may not have Sean playing in this next one, but we're going to be.
Well, I don't know how he's going to do that with the deck right behind me.
Well, we'll figure it out. But we'll be right back, guys. We're going to have a quick intermission. I'll be right back.
It's not product placement at all.
I was trying to tell you who's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
He's just your back.
The deck's right here. Everything you need.
So I think Michael wants a break from that thing.
Put him in the booth with me if he wants to.
If it's a chance to get him out of being scared of playing on
You guys are so cute. When you guys commentary together, you and Sean, you have like so much to say. It sounds like you're talking at the table, but like in front of people.
Right.
I love it so much. It's the best.
Well, we just like talking Magic together.
I know. I told Sean that 1,000 times. I was like,
Yeah.
I told him regardless of if he keeps playing competitively or not, he can't give it up because every time he talks about it, he lights up like a kid. He's talking about like his favorite candy or like Disneyland. He's just like
Yeah,
so
exactly.
into it. So like I think this is so cool because you guys can talk and like it gives him an outlet for that. Super badass. He wants to like go farther with this hobby. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to make that happen. That's part of the reason we started that bit. Like I was a big push for him expanding his business because he wants to play Magic like more. And I told
Yeah.
him, you know,
I totally get that.
you can't do that if you don't have it set up in your life where you can travel. So I was like, if you want to do this, we'll find a way to free up your time. Do all that stuff. Have you ever traveled the Magic circuit before?
I haven't like toured, as they say. Still haven't hit my first pro tour yet. That is a goal of mine. It's been a dream to play on the pro tour, and I'm sure once I get there, it'll be my next dream will be to, top 8 one. But I've played a number of GPs. I've cashed multiple. Got a couple of pro points before they did away with that system.
Yeah.
So I've had my share of fun in competitive Magic, but I haven't gotten as far as I intend to.
Yeah.
And I'll amend that statement to say I haven't gotten as far as I will.
You will.
Nice. That's what you want to have. So they're going to be setting up here. They're getting their decks ready. But yeah. Let's change these names.
Let's change the names.
So we've
Is it
got.
live?
Yeah. We've been live.
So Tristan, I know he has his own build of Twiddle Storm.
Okay, so we'll just call it Twiddle Storm for now.
Yeah. Is this Mike live?
Yes.
Okay. So the version of Twiddle Storm that Tristan will be playing has, I believe, 3 mainboard Aria of Flame. Now to those newcomers who have not seen this work, he puts a lot of spells on the stack in one turn. It's very different from the Storm decks that rely on Electromancer and Baral to discount the spells, convert mana cost. Instead, this is relying on Lotus Field,
Oh wow.
which is from, I believe, Core 20. And Lotus Field enters the battlefield tapped. You have to sacrifice 2 lands when it enters the battlefield, just like Lotus Veil, an old reserve list card. Now, what's interesting about this deck is that the way it cheats on that
is that it starts untapping Lotus Field, which has hexproof, but you can target your own Lotus Field with cards like Twiddle. He can also cycle the Vizier of Remedies, and it has a cycle trigger that when you cycle it, you get to untap a permanent. So he actually nets 1 mana every time he does that.
That's really sick.
It's really cool. He also has this one card that really makes the whole deck go together, which is Psychic Puppetry, and he can splice that onto Arcane, which means he can essentially copy the text of Psychic Puppetry onto any instant or sorcery that is also a subtype Arcane without actually casting it. And
Wow,
he gets
that's super
to
legit.
he gets to use that over and over again, and that just untaps the Lotus Field. He'll generate a ton of mana and cast one of his Storm payoffs just like any other Storm deck does, but he cycles through his deck very quickly with Arcanes like Peer Through Depths. Now we haven't quite changed the name yet. Oh, I didn't realize Michael on Blue Green Merfolk was actually still playing. I thought we were going to have Sean playing.
Yeah, no, I think they switched roles.
This is going to be rather awkward.
Actually, we need to switch the names because this is Michael on this side, right?
No, I could have sworn I saw the Merfolk while shuffling on the right-hand side.
Because this is Michael Rubenstein's hands. Is this supposed to... You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't see what you're saying. I thought this was Michael. Is that not right?
This is Michael Rubenstein.
That's Michael, you're sure?
In the gray shirt with... Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
And
we
this-
do need to change that.
Yeah.
So it seems like... oh, I see now. I saw the blue cards and thought that was Merfolk. Yeah, I see an Aria of Flame on the right-hand side. So the names are reversed. Michael Rubenstein is actually on the left, and Tristan is on the right.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I got
This
you.
may be an awkward lineup.
It's on your clipboard. Just paste there, Tuesday.
Michael Rubenstein's Merfolk deck is going to be sporting the traditional 4 copies of Spreading
You can
Seas,
swap like this.
but the Spreading Seas actually can't target Lotus Field, which is sort of the hallmark land of the entire deck. It makes the whole thing function. So the Spreading Seas will not have a good target. In fact, he might end up targeting his own to fix his mana at some point, if need be. But those Spreading Seas are going to be dead cards, so in game 2 and 3, we're going to definitely see those sided out, probably in favor of some cheap counterspells. Now, I know the blue-green Merfolk deck is sporting 4 copies of Force of Negation, so if he sees those and plays them fairly aggressively, he might be able to get a good tempo plan against the Twiddlestorm deck and beat that player down before they're able to assemble the combo.
What kind of removal does Twiddlestorm have? Spurn, basically, or what?
I have seen only Grape Shot. As far as removal is concerned, the Twiddlestorm deck is pretty much all in, except for maybe post-board, but I haven't seen Tristan's sideboard. Looks like Michael is very calmly keeping this 7. And we're off.
Did you see who won? Okay, yeah, Tristan won. All right, so he's playing first.
We're starting with a
Nine
Waterlogged Grove, and we'll take 1 damage going to 19. This could be a Kumina Speaker, or an Aether Vial would be ideal.
Oh yeah, Aether Vial does a lot of work.
There's a Kumina Speaker. So it's currently a 1/1. It'll get +1/+1 as soon as a Merfolk hits the battlefield. It is a Merfolk itself. Okay, there's a Peer Through Mists, which just draws a card, and it is an Arcane. Really just a cycler there.
So he's definitely going with the arcane theme, like you mentioned, really trying to have target cards for that ability.
Yeah, so what's a little difficult to follow, and the players will have to have good communication to figure this out in game, of course, but the storm count is a little bit tricky to keep track of in the Twiddle Storm deck because he's also cycling cards fairly aggressively, like Vizier of Remedies. It looks like he's casting a card, and it has a very spell-like effect when he cycles it, but it doesn't actually contribute to the storm count, so that's something to keep an eye on.
So it looks like some fetching and shocking going on.
So it's like a Merfolk Trickster in its main phase just to power up the Kumina Speaker. Michael knows that he's not going to get much value out of the ETB trigger, so he's just going to main phase this Trickster. And it clearly would have been a Lord if it could have been.
So we got a swing for 2, so that puts Tristan down to 8.
Here he's floating, and there is the Lotus Field. So he's floating 2 blue mana. He's very likely to use that mana now in some way to untap the Lotus Field and generate as much as 4 mana on the spot.
Wow.
And there it is. And he also has, it looks like Psychic Puppetry is spliced onto Arcane, so that will untap and will cycle, essentially.
Wow.
Cantrip. He's going to draw and untap the Lotus Field. And he spent 2 mana to do that, so he's essentially netting 1 with the untap will get him to 3.
Wow. Wow, this deck is pretty silly. So it looks like he's spending it.
Well, with a name like Twiddlestorm, it should be silly.
Yeah. I think he's keeping track of.
Very appropriately, the opponent will be twiddling his thumbs for probably the rest of the game. We'll see how lucky Tristan is. But that seems to be how this is going to play out, unless he has a very timely Force of Negation.
Another splice.
There's another splice on the same card, a Peer Through Mists. So he's going to cantrip off of the Peer Through Mists and also untap the Lotus Field. So every time he does this, he nets 1 mana untapping the Lotus Field because it costs 2, 1 to cast and 1 to splice. But he also gets to choose the color. So it looks like on that Islands token, that's counting blue mana, and on the Senpai's token, we have the red mana, presumably. There's the Vizier. It costs 2 to cycle the Vizier, and it will untap. So this is another cantrip, but it will not contribute. Oh, the Senpai's is the Storm Count, it looks like.
Yeah.
We haven't made red mana yet. It's all blue.
Okay.
He's not going to make red until he finds the Grape Shot or empty the Warrens. And there's a Merchant Scroll. This is the old one with, some people would say, an ugly border, but I'm quite fond of the older cards. Merchant Scroll is going to allow him to search his deck for a blue instant and put that card into his hand.
Oh, wow. So every time he splices, it just goes right back to his hand. He doesn't actually have to
And
use it.
here's the card. It's Peer Through Depths. Now this one's a bit more powerful than, what is it, Reach Through Mists? I think I was missaying it before. But Peer Through Depths will allow him not to cantrip, but to look at the top 5 cards and choose any instant or sorcery from them. It is also very
powerful.
It is very powerful, and it's conveniently an arcane.
That was a very, very popular card during the recent Storm decks that we've had.
It's usually not played in very high numbers in those Storm decks, but Twiddlestorm
Maybe
makes
like a
much
2 or
better.
something?
1 occasionally I've seen, maybe 2, but it definitely, this deck takes advantage of the fact that it's an arcane. I was really hoping for more splice effects in Modern Horizons because arcanes are so interesting. But as you can see from this game, that could be very dangerous to print more. It's kind of like printing more tribal.
They have enough, right? Like, pretty interesting.
Apparently, according to Tristan, you can't have enough arcanes.
You can't. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna see if he falls short of them because he seems to be going off pretty well.
There's another splice. And there's the Force of Negation. He's ready, and he just exiled Incubation. This is a split card from, what was the name of the set before War of the Spark?
Guilds.
Guilds Alliance?
Guilds of
Ravnica
Ravnica.
Alliance or something like that?
Well, it was
There's
Ravnica Allegiance and the Guilds of Ravnica.
Allegiance, that's what it was. Incubation's a really powerful card in the Merfolk deck. Most of the time, you can just pay 1 mana and search for the closest lord in the top 5 or 6 cards.
And he did it at the right time when he used up all of the extra mana.
That's exactly right.
Well, it looks like we're going to get some attacks in.
So the score, I believe, should be 15 right now. Actually,
Yeah, we're getting confirmation
15.
15 to 18
Waterlogged
before
Grove
swings.
he's got 2 of them in play, unless that's Botanical Sanctum. But they both will get groves to me.
Well, he did shock
The
himself.
damage shouldn't matter much.
Right. I mean, Twiddlestorm, essentially, it's a combo deck, so your life doesn't matter till you're dead.
Arya of Flame says, your life doesn't matter because your life, no matter how big it is going to be 0 very quickly.
Wow.
So, Tristan is very calmly saying, kill
So he
me,
gains life with
kill
that
me
card,
or
though,
lose.
right? He
Yes.
does gain life.
So
with it.
Michael is now at 25, soon to be 23. It looks like he's another Lord. Very importantly, Tristan played a Steam Vents last turn, so all of Michael's creatures are unblockable. Or at least that would normally be important, but we are just racing. There are going to be no blockers unless Tristan finds an Empty the Warrens. And even then, that Lord of Atlantis gives all of his creatures unblockable because Tristan has the island. So it is up to Tristan. He's in the driver's seat.
It looks like he's down to 1 life, according to our judge.
It is up to Tristan to find the answer
This
right
turn.
now. He's got to filter through his deck on the spot and put a lot of counters on Arya of Flame. And it could be a
I
combination.
see Dark Angel. the names are backwards. I appreciate that. Thank you. We did fix that. And then, yeah, we're definitely rooting for Tristan. We want to see 3 games here.
You think the bad man at the table is the Merfolk deck and not the Storm deck?
No. I'm rooting for Tristan. I taught him how to play Magic here. He learned here in the shop about
Okay.
3 years ago, and he's taken the game pretty seriously since. And he's a young man.
Well, I have a little bit of skin in this game because I was the one who recommended Incubation as a card that Michael should include in his deck. So I
Nice.
kind of want to see him win,
Nice.
even if it's just because he pitched it to Force of Negation.
Oh, he's having to stand up. He's having to give me my deck box.
Oh, he's ready.
Oh, is that Empty the Warrens?
That's
that
an
he
Empty
played?
the Warrens.
Okay. So it looks like we got a storm count of 3 and the 4th.
It's a pretty early Empty the Warrens. Those creatures aren't going to be doing anything. They're not blocking. Tristan still has to win. I don't know if he realizes those creatures are unblockable.
Yeah. And Michael's not reminding him, so.
That's it. He picked up his cards.
Yep. Next one. All right, so game 1 goes to Michael.
Boom. Pretty much exactly what you would expect if the Merfolk player has the Force of Negation and is a decent player, as Michael clearly is. You play the Force of Negation exactly the right time, and it goes right into the tempo plan of the Merfolk deck.
He waited for him to use up his mana.
Absolutely.
But what if the Total Storm player has an understanding of that? Is it possible to pilot that deck? Do you have to commit to using up all your mana, or in that situation he kind of had to continue the combo?
So Tristan has a couple of cards in his deck, a couple of copies of the card. I forget the name, but it's blue, and you draw 3 cards and then discard 3 at the end of turn.
Mm-hmm.
He could wait until he finds something to fill his hand up so that it pretty much doesn't matter how many Force of Negations Michael has.
Okay.
But because Merfolk has such a potent tempo plan, you can't really wait that long. So I'm not sure Tristan really could have made any other decisions differently.
Interesting. Guys,
It would be interesting if Tristan had a Pactum Negation in the sideboard in some number. I'm not sure that he does.
I mean, in a deck like that seems like the perfect deck to run it. If you're just tuning in, guys, this is a little exhibition match. We've hosted a few today. Senpai's Cards and Anime. We're going to be hosting Modern events every Saturday at 4 p.m. So if you're in Houston and you like to play Modern, and you are interested in perhaps even getting your cool deck on stream, make it to Table 1. Come out here and play every Saturday at 4 p.m. So there's still...
And you mentioned that we've played a few games already. Will the games that have been featured be on a YouTube channel later? For those who've missed it.
Yes. Easiest way to find the YouTube channel is if you follow us on Facebook, Shop Senpai, or you look up facebook.com/Shop Senpai. We post all these videos there, so you can find information about the shop and all that. You can also go to shopsenpai.com, so www.shopsenpai, and that's with an N. Our logo is right here. You can see how it's spelled. But yeah, check us out. Appreciate that.
David.
Thank you, Michael. Almost there. We're getting there. Tristan didn't take very long to pick his sideboard. Michael's kind of being a little bit more considerate of the last match. I think he knows that that could have easily gone the other way. So I wonder how many counter spells and how...
So Michael knows that the most important card in his deck is going to be Force of Negation, which he's already mainboarding 4 of. The question really comes down to how many counter spells can he afford to play? Because he could also have copies of Spell Pierce out of the sideboard, or even Dispel.
Removal is kind of a waste, so he's probably
Removal
siding
is
that
a
out.
waste, so he's very likely taking out Echoing Truth. Unless he feels that Tristan being on a play makes it a real worry that Empty the Warrens could be the way he wins the game.
Even then, one-to-one removal isn't going to help you against Empty the Warrens
Echoing
anyway.
Truth actually returns all creatures of the
that's
same
true.
name. So if he targets one
right.
goblin token, all of them are
Oh, that's
are hit.
so lit. Yeah.
So he might actually keep that. I'm pretty sure he mainboards 1. I don't think it's worth
siding in another.
siding. I don't think it's worth siding in another. You can't take out so many cards. Although it is decent at resetting Aria of Flame as well, so I wouldn't put it past him. But I think the most efficient line that he has is to keep a critical mass of his merfolk, make sure they are hitting the battlefield every turn, lord after lord. He's probably going to take out the merfolk tricksters because he
'Cause
knows
there's
they don't
nothing to
have
tap
any
sideways,
good
yeah.
targets. Yeah. So he's likely taking them out in some number, probably in favor of some counter spells.
Hey, Vitamins, I see you there. Thank you for the the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's taking so long. When I see a player wondering what to sideboard for this long, it makes me think he has more cards to take out of his deck than he does to put in.
That
and
makes
replace
a lot
them
of
with.
sense. Yeah.
So he might have so many merfolk that just don't really do a whole lot because they're not lords in themselves and they're not cantrips like Silvergill Adept. The things like the Tricksters, if he only has like 3 sideboard cards that are
mention
decent.
taking out. I forget the name of the Morpho, the one we
Trickster.
mentioned, the Trickster. But the advantage of Trickster is he kind of puts you a turn ahead. If you're worried about being comboed off, you can wait till the end of the turn, then play him. It's kind of like playing a hasty on their turn.
That's a fair point.
But I don't know.
Now,
if it's enough to keep him in.
I wonder because he's on the draw this game.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a consideration to take some number of Ether Vials out of the deck. Not in this game, but maybe in game 3 when he's
So
on the
you've
play.
mentioned that concept before about siding out Ether Files going second. I didn't quite understand it when you were telling me. Why would someone do that?
So it really depends on what they're most worried about in the game. Now, Ether Vial, of course, is really powerful when you're on the play and you're going first.
Essentially, you tap it, you get to play one of your guys for free,
Right.
depending on how many counters
Whoever's
are on
going
it.
first has the advantage of they are the aggressor. They get to determine the pace of the whole game. So if he starts the game with an Ether Vial, then his opponent is essentially on. They're not just going second; it's like they're going third.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But if Tristan, starts setting up early, he's a turn 3 kind of deck.
Yeah.
So Michael can't really afford to have so many Ether Vial clogging up his hand necessarily that could be Dispel or Spell Pierce. If his opponent is going off and he's just got an Ether Vial on 1 and a couple of creatures, then that's it. That's the
makes
whole
sense.
game. So the question isn't a matter of, is Ether Vial a great card? Of course it is. It's one of the most important in almost any matchup
And
when,
so that would
when
make
Merfolk is
sense.
concerned.
That would kind of make sense also with flash creatures too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the whole point of Ether Vial is to flash them in. So
He really only wants to see one.
one.
Every Ether Vial past the first is going to be very bad in this matchup, and that's why I'm wondering if he was stressing over whether he should take out any of them or even all of them.
Wow. That's some high level glowy brain stuff there, Michael. Let's see what he
He
does.
definitely took out his Spreading Seas. So I think it comes down to he had too many cards he needed to take out, as opposed to cards he could replace them with. I highly doubt he took out the Ether Vials because they are strictly better than the Spreading Seas and better than some number of the Tricksters. And he probably only has 5 or so cards that are any good in this matchup in the sideboard. So I highly doubt that in this matchup he'd take out Vial. But
makes sense.
in other Vial decks, it may be less important in this matchup.
Tempo versus combo. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, in this matchup, the Tempo deck has to have some amount of disruption.
So we did get a mulligan from Michael, right? So he is having to discard.
And I think that's smart. You're pretty much looking for a Force of Negation in your opening hand. You need to be able to interact with the Storm opponent because they are just more consistent and faster. So it's okay to go down some cards. Now, Force of Negation being the most important card, that does hurt having mulligans because you're also going down a card to cast it.
It's true. It makes sense.
There's a Misty Rainforest.
Content to use it on his opponent's
My
turn.
least favorite part about the blue-green version of the Merfolk deck is that one of the strengths of Merfolk has always been
Play turn 1.
it
keep
doesn't care about Blood Moon.
going. Okay.
It's one of those tribal decks that just doesn't care.
Gotcha.
And this deck plays a lot of non-basics. A lot. It plays Cavern of Souls. It plays Breeding Pools. It plays Waterlogged Groves.
So we've got some fetch shock action. We're looking at 19-18 right now.
And another thing that is not really well afforded by the blue-green deck is that you can't fit 4 Mutavaults as easily into the deck. There's a very real cost to
Because
doing
the
so.
land base would it becomes greedy.
Yeah, pretty much every card in the deck costs blue, so having
You
some
have
number
some
of
experience
mutables-
with these colors in the past.
Well, I've had a lot of experience with cards like Blood Moon in the past.
We mentioned
because-
your Ewit deck. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I used to play Eternal Command quite a bit. It was featured on camera in Oklahoma City
Nice.
a few years ago, but I wasn't the pilot.
It's still a great deck.
It was a really fun deck. I'd be
Oh,
interested
wow.
to try it in the new meta.
So you reveal a Merfolk and you get to play her and draw a card.
It's just a free card. I
Yeah.
love it. Silvergill Adept is really powerful. It's a beautiful promo as well.
Oh yeah. I'm glad the glare's starting to go away. We can actually see cards now.
Even the foils.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Shameless logo recognition.
Oh, Tristan is such a die player. Every deck he's ever played against me, he just brings out dice and tokens, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's because you taught him. Now I
Yeah.
know. That's the reason.
Trigger dot deck.
So that's Michael just reminding him of the storm count.
He loves a good combo.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I love beating him when he's on combo.
Well, you sure know how to do it. You've been doing pretty well. Let's see here. Okay. He's not splicing this time, or does he have a window where he can choose to splice?
You have to splice on announce. So as you cast the spell, you have to splice it.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
can't just splice something randomly on the stack
Yeah, you can't pass priority and then see if your opponent has a response.
and then splice.
And then splice if they do have a response.
because you have to commit your mana essentially.
That's right.
Okay,
It's kind of like a kicker cost.
makes sense.
And there was the Force of Negation. Yeah, so Michael's been really conservative about when to use his Force of Negation, recognizing that the number of cards in his hand matters quite a bit, and he needs to make it count every single time he pitches a card. Oh, there's the Vizier. So this will not contribute to the storm count, but he will untap the Lotus Field and net 1 mana,
Wow,
because it only costs 2 to cycle. This Lotus Field is crazy.
I'm loving that card. Ever since it was announced, I was super excited about it. Oh, Michael being helpful
Michael,
to
yeah.
help with the storm count and the mana.
Right. Tristan's a little too excited, but
Yeah, good guy, Mike. Little thumbs up.
well, you know, if
He was judging for us earlier, so
if this were a competitive event and Tristan weren't keeping track of that, he could get in a lot of trouble. One for misrepresenting the board state, but if he does it throughout the tournament, people could start to think that he's trying to get that same game violation for his opponent,
Oh, okay.
and that is very unsportsmanlike and will get you disqualified.
I'm pretty sure that's a discipline he's going to have to pick up if he wants to continue this deck.
That's right.
He's a good guy, go. I don't think.
Oh
that's
yeah,
his
he means
intention.
nothing by it. It's just
Yeah.
something I've seen or at least heard of before, where people try to game the rules in a way, and
A
they
lot
try
of
to take
people don't-
advantage of their opponent's ignorance about whatever they're
A
playing.
lot of people don't talk about that side of Magic, but if it's something that we want to avoid, education is key. I think we should talk about that more and more openly. I don't think there's anything wrong with being open about these things. It makes the game better for everyone,
In general, more communication in the game is better.
Yeah.
You see a lot of high-level players sort of keeping quiet, keeping their mouth shut, and they seem to think that it's the same as keeping a poker face. And the two, I think,
Or separate.
they're separate things.
The great
You can
players
be open and honest
are
about
very-
what's going on
I
and
was-
still control your emotions in game.
I was watching LSV play, and it was a match that he really, really wanted. It was in one of these major GP events, and he was helping his opponent. His opponent was having a hard time, and even to his own detriment, he lost game 1 in a match because he was helping his opponent out. And I was like, wow, that's kind of the difference between greatness, being good or great, is that you appreciate and respect the game enough to try to win someone on fair ground. He did end up winning that match,
Yeah.
but it was
Well, it's LSV, so.
it's LSV. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the replay of the Lord. It looks like Master of the Pearl Trident. After combat, there was an Echoing Truth, so saving a couple points of damage there. And Michael's got to be pretty happy about that exchange because he didn't really lose a card. And Tristan spent a whole Magic card that could have been a very real threat. So Michael is probably hoping that Tristan overboarded in this matchup.
And what is that?
I'm having a hard time telling what that is because there's an old border and I don't recognize the artwork. But it looks like an untapped Lotus Field. Could that have just been Twiddle?
It could have been.
There's another Echoing Truth. Michael's got to be pretty happy about this, honestly. Oh, except that he's just using it to contribute to the storm count, which is a bit scarier.
Yeah. So it's like what, 2 blue, 1 red.
Okay, so
and
this looks
2
like a
white.
value grape shot. I take back my take back. Michael is probably very happy to see this line.
Yeah.
Because Tristan essentially spent 3 cards to
To get
negate
rid of,
about
yeah.
6 points of damage over the course of 2 turns. And one of those cards was a finisher in Grape Shot. Now, he likely still has Past in Flames in the deck, and if Grape Shot is going to be how he wins, then he's going to be casting it from the graveyard with Past in Flames. So he's planning for the long game, which is good, but it looks like he only has 1 card left in hand. Meanwhile, Michael has a full grip, pretty much. Looks like they're just trying to agree on what the storm count was.
Miscommunication on how Storm works. So we're at 17-13 for the life total right now. Hearing back from Sean as he's judging for us. So misplay.
Who is Thwart on Discord?
That's Sean right now.
Sean, okay.
It's Michael's computer, but it's Sean judging.
Got it,
Yeah.
got it. So, we seem to have a consensus. If there were an advantage bar, it would be swinging way, probably even past the 100% mark in favor of Michael.
Right now, yeah. So Tristan learned a valuable lesson on storm mechanics.
Right, and probably a lesson on overboarding for this matchup.
Yeah. All right.
Peer through depths, that's pretty big. He's going to dig 5 down. This could lead to something. Although I think Tristan has a pretty happy trigger finger, and he has a tendency to play his cards as soon as he draws them, even when it would be in his best interest to hold back and try to get a sort of critical mass in 1 turn. He still has time.
He's
There's
got
not
13
a lot of pressure.
life, yeah.
Right,
He's
there's
got
not
a 6-turn clock,
There's
7-turn
not a lot of
clock.
pressure in play right now. Now, that could quickly change, of course, but he's got probably 2-3 good turns.
He did search Psychic Puppetry to hand.
Okay, that's going to be the first step. So the next thing he needs is to get a couple of Arcanes in his hand that he can start splicing furiously, and we may get a real game from Tristan. Now, we don't actually know at this point if Michael has an answer. If Tristan taps out for splicing a Puppetry on Peer Through Depths, for example, that's 3 mana. There's another Lord. Now, it's possible Tristan...
Does that mean it's 6 damage on board now? 6 potential damage?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 3 for this turn. And that looks like an incubation. So he's going to be looking at the top 5 cards of his library and choosing a creature from among them. This is really powerful. This is going to get out of hand because he's just going to find Lord after Lord. Shout out to the Michael in the booth. This guy right here for recommending the incubation.
Yeah. Really legit.
I'm sure it's established. It's not my idea.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's not my idea.
Krumholtz, you're one of the best brewers in the shop, period. He's always been that way. The only person that would have argued with me on that is your partner. He's not here anymore, your bro.
Yeah, well, I can't take credit probably for you thinking that about me because many of my brews came from Richard. At least in some part, we worked on a lot of them together. So
how's that guy doing? Is he doing well? Have you heard from him?
Oh yeah, he's still playing Magic.
Awesome.
He actually just got back from Vegas. I let him borrow a playset of the new Pyromancer.
Oh wow! So he did swing, and he's all the way down to 4 life. Tristan's down to 4 life now.
Yeah. In two consecutive attacks from Merfolk Lords will do that. But, you know, Tristan has built up a reasonable hand size. One of those cards we know is the payoff. Well, that's not exactly what you want, but at least he's digging a little bit deeper. The Psychic Puppetry is what it all comes down to.
He did get an island.
Yeah, he knows now there's no reason to hold back the island because of the island walk. His opponent's creatures didn't have island walk before, essentially.
He didn't have a creature anyway.
Yeah. But there was a very real concern that maybe if he played the island, but also stormed off into an Empty the Warrens, that he'd be punished for playing the island. And if he
What
could
is
storm
that?
off... that's Veil. That's Veil of Autumn.
What does Veil of Autumn do?
So this is a new card from Core 20. So Michael and his permanents have hexproof till end of turn.
Oh no!
And if his opponent played a blue or black spell this turn, he draws a card. So it's a cantrip that gives it hexproof. And he found the Force of Negation.
Wow, that's a shutdown and a half. There's the hand signal for.
And he
I don't
just
know.
revealed another Force. Wow.
He's
And just like we drew it up, it came down to having pressure backed up with Force of Negation, and Vial didn't matter.
Yes, Tristan's dead. Thank you, Sean. Excellent match, guys. Let me get these guys over here real quick, or let me get Tristan. Hey, Tristan, Michael, if you guys want to talk about your decks, one of y'all, both of y'all, if you want, can come back here. It's up to you. Nice, Sean. That was really good judging. Thank you. We appreciated the insights. That was legit. It's really good. But yeah, we got the guys coming up. Yeah.
Well, I know all those.
It was
'cause I
so
play a lot of
good.
Modern Masters Limited.
Let me
But
get in here.
it's the older ones that I didn't recognize the. So I recognize the more.
Let me see
Yeah,
if they're
I just
coming. Come
I
on,
just
Tristan.
assumed
That
they
deck
were
was
Twiddle.
cool, man. Come
And I said
here.
as much, but I couldn't be certain.
I gotta
think
ask
they
you a
were
question.
Twiddle Because it's cute, right?
So real
Yeah.
quick, come sit here. That deck is super cool. I'm glad we got it on stream. Unfortunately, you misplayed. What happened with that misplay?
Honestly, I was trying to dig really hard.
Okay.
I couldn't get there.
I couldn't tell if it was like a miscount or a misstorm count, or if you just.
Oh, so for the earlier bit, for the the grape shot,
Yeah.
I counted the one more for the grape shot. I thought it counted the grape shot, but actually it counted only 2. So we were just missing off 1 point.
Okay.
Oh no, that's tragic. But
So-
so you basically had to just choose targets and let it resolve. Is that basically what
Yeah.
happened? Okay.
That was 1 more damage than it needed.
Gotcha.
So tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind, about how you sideboarded. Because it looked like in that last game you had a lot of copies of Echoing Truth, some of the answers to your opponent's things, instead of the cards you needed to kill him.
Well, what I saw from the deck is that Aria of Flame wasn't really working out, so I took out Aria of Flame and started putting in a bit more bounce
Okay.
to alleviate some of the damage.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, congrats on the deck. Sorry you lost the feature match, but next week you'll be able to tune it, and then when the tournament time comes, you'll be able to get your revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I love that deck.
Next
Yeah.
time I'll have all the cards.
Yeah,
for talking,
and the
Tristan.
tokens, and the tokens.
And the tokens.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and end the stream here. Remember, every Saturday at 4, check us out, Senpai's Cards and Anime. You can follow us on Facebook, Facebook/Senpai Cards and Anime, or excuse me, Shop Senpai. But again, Michael, you did really good. Sean, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And thank you for judging. We appreciate you guys. We're going to probably raid somebody. Will you guys join the raid? Yeah, they fixed it. Let me see here. So we'll raid somebody real quick. Let's see. And guys, when I hit the raid button, you gotta ready up, okay? You gotta ready up.
What is the rate? I'm a little bit
The
unfamiliar.
raid. We're gonna raid someone. So usually, whenever you finish your stream, you want to kind of promote somebody else. Be
Okay.
nice. So that's what we're gonna do. Even if you guys just go in there and say hi. Let's see. let's see. All right, this person's really, really cool. I don't know. We probably have a few FGC people in chat, so go ahead and say hi from Houston. This is Call to Court. She's a professional gamer. She travels all over the United States and the world competing, so you might want to check her out for a little bit. But here we go. We're gonna give that a raid, and make sure on the top right you guys hit the button. You got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more second, and there we go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks.
I lift on incubation.